Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant First Class Goff. I'm an instructor with 2nd Battalion, Maneuver Senior Leader Course. We're going to be going over alcohol and substance abuse this afternoon. This is just kind of a little agenda that we have for this class, and make it as quick as possibly can. This assessment is low. We're in a classroom environment. Don't fall asleep, please. If you guys stand up, stand up. If you gotta go take a phone call, don't take a phone call, go to the bathroom. Please pick up after yourself, active shooter, run, hide, fight. Motivation. Oh, I gotta find it over here. Play button. All right.
Yeah, turn it up on there.
Hey, you said idea of doing that thing again. No, not yet. Anybody but him. He was infantry, didn't know anything about. All right, yeah, send him up. Steve? It's like freezing every time I try to do work on this drive. Like a fork, like I don't know what that means. What is that? Like a. All right. Do your thing. Just fix it. This is like a knife. Are you gonna fix your computer with a knife? What the hell is this stuff? I don't understand. This is all like infantry stuff. It's a knife, you realize. That's just the monitor, like, oh, I'm pretty sure you're breaking it. This is everything. There you go. Hey, maybe you don't work here anymore. How about that? Hey, your goggles on, get the dip. Oh, it wants dip me. You're seeing I do this with my monitor. Yeah, make sure you get it square on that. You interviewed really well. Maybe, yeah, there you go. That'll probably oh, that's probably the wrong way to do that. It works. You want to get you some more field dressing? Alright. Oh, didn't have. I might get a new computer after this. I don't know. Maybe you need more knives. Maybe there's not enough knives in the computer. So you got a degree? In what? You're not doing it. No. Oh. It was fixable, now it's not fixable. It's been broken. Yeah, 3 squares look good, maybe 4.
All right. What does that have to do with alcohol and substance abuse? Absolutely nothing, but it's funny. All right, it gets your attention. So, all right. So this is out of AR 600-85. Alcohol and drug abuse by soldiers and civilian corps members can seriously damage their physical and behavioral health, jeopardizing their safety and the safety of those around them. It can lead to criminal and administrative disciplinary action. Alcohol and drug abuse is detrimental to the unit's operational readiness, command climate, and is inconsistent with Army values and where you feel. The Army strives to be free of all effects of alcohol and drug abuse. Okay? Second thing says, the Army can't tell you not to drink alcohol, but it recommends that you drink alcohol in moderation and not on duty. If you do drink alcohol on duty, well, then you're going to get into a little bit of trouble. So, when we talk about alcohol, substance abuse, it's really one and the same. Through this presentation, we are going to break things down just a little bit. We're going to talk about alcohol abuse specifically, and then we're going to talk about other substance abuse, almost specifically within the state of Minnesota. Substance abuse is a real problem in many parts of the world. I think you all are aware of that. It not only causes pain and suffering for the individuals involved, but also those around them and society as a whole. Just like it said out of the AR, when we have soldiers that are abusing alcohol, abusing substances, it does affect our readiness as a whole for our unit, for our state. So this is a definition, okay? One way to define substance abuse would be to say that it is a pattern of behavior where people use mind-altering substances to a harmful extent. Okay? Alcohol is a mind-altering substance. Right? Repeated use of the substance in ways that would be considered physically harmful. Use of the substance is impacting the ability of the individual to meet their family, social, or work commitments. You guys can go ahead and read the rest of those. So, would anybody agree or have an additional definition of alcohol or substance abuse other than what's up here? No? Perfect. So these are some of the mind-altering substances that get abused. Alcohol, prescription drugs, inhalants, stimulants, depressants, hallucinogens. One important thing to remember about alcohol, like we said, it is a drug, all right? People get addicted to it. It's known as alcoholism. Why do you guys think people drink, start drinking, or will continually drink alcohol? What are some reasons?
Helps you forget.
Helps them forget? Why?
It's too trash to remember.
Is it too trash to remember anything?
Social norm.
It's a social norm. Who would say that in our society, drinking alcohol has become a huge social norm? Right? Let's go out and grab some beers. No big deal, right? What else? All right, cool. We're going to talk about some more of that. Drinking helps me have a good time. Who believes that? The only way that I can have a good time with the boys is to go out and have a bunch of beers, right? Yes, no, maybe, Sarver's Gala? No, nothing? All right. So, for people who feel like they're too stressed out to actually go out and have a good time, okay, we can go and have a drink to kind of help relax. The problem with that is, when you start doing that over time, and you just keep on drinking more, and all of a sudden, I have to drink the entire time that I'm out with my friends because I can't get into whatever activity it is. And then at the end of the night, you don't remember what you did anyway because you're too wasted, right? So what was the point of it anyhow? Make sense? Drinking makes me high and happy. Does drinking make you high?
No.
All right. Why? What is it? What is alcohol? It's a depressant. So you might get a little buzz at the very beginning when that alcohol is hitting your system, but you continually keep on drinking and you're probably actually going to start feeling worse the more you actually continue to drink, right? Okay? Make sense? Especially if you're drinking alone in your room over at 1510, right? Are you feeling any better? Drinking is cool. Who agrees with that?
High school.
All right. Why?
It's usually cold. Most drinks are cold.
Oh, thanks, Sergeant. Okay, yep. Yes, it is. yes, I like a gin and tonic after I've been working outside on a very, very hot summer day. It is very cool and refreshing, okay? But that's not quite the cool that we're looking at, right? So, kind of how it's portrayed, movies, TV, things like that. That is one of, okay, and this PowerPoint says one of the biggest lies about how cool alcohol is. Yes, having some drinks is fine. Going out and having a drink with a meal and things like that is fine, but the way that it gets publicized and pushed out, especially if we're looking at younger soldiers or looking at our kids, things like that, how many movies have we watched, or just how many movies in the last 15 years have come out where it's high school kids going to a party, drinking, carrying on, looking like they're having a great time. Everything's getting made fun of the next morning about how hungover they are, things like that. Now, to a young, impressionable person, that's pretty fucking cool, right? Okay. Drinking keeps me warm. No, it doesn't. It actually lowers your body temperature, right? I can't have a drinking problem because I only drink beer or wine, not hard liquor. Is that true? My brother-in-law, okay? Actually, my wife's brother-in-law. I met him, I think, when I was about 17 years old. Okay? I'm 33 years old now. He only drinks beer, but I've never seen him sober once in my life. Not once. Not in the morning, not in the afternoon, not at night. Doesn't matter what you're drinking, all right? Whether it's hard alcohol, beer, wine, you can get addicted to it, all right? And it can become that crutch for you. I only drink because all my friends drink too. All right, well, I guess if you have to run in your crew, the only way that you're going to fit in is to drink alcohol all the time, maybe you should evaluate your friendships, okay? Because two of my best friends, they don't even drink. I like to have beers, but you know what? When I go out with them, we have a good time, we don't drink beer, okay? So don't let that be an excuse for you to drink all the time because, oh, my friends are always drinking. That's not the right answer either. So here's some statistics from 2014 in the state of Minnesota. 111 people were killed in drunk driving classes. Now, when I was doing some of the research for this class, one of the saddest statistics about that is a lot of times the person that was drunk and driving isn't the person that dies. All right? So how shitty do you think that person feels? All right? Just because I couldn't fucking not get in my car after I had some drinks. 31% of the state's total traffic deaths involve alcohol. Over 25,000 Minnesotans were arrested for DWIs in 2014. 73% of those arrests were guys. Why do you think that is?
Because they're hard-headed.
Why do you think, 50? You're nodding your head. Do you agree with that?
I'm agreeing.
Yeah? 43% of the DWI arrests were males between 15 and 29. That's a huge, that takes up a good majority of this room right here. Okay? A lot of males in here, probably within that age bracket. Okay? 1 in 7 licensed drivers in Minnesota has at least one DWI on their record. This is a huge problem. All right? You guys know all those studies that, or surveys that we have to do with our units and things like that, where they ask you how many drinks you have per day and things like that. The surveys, you guys know what I'm talking about? I got to talk to one of the ladies that actually processes those. For combat arms units, she typically adds about 3 drinks to whatever we say, because she knows that we're lying. Right? It's the truth, right? Oh, I don't drink that much. Right? So we have to sit back and actually look at how much we actually drink, okay? It's important for us because in here, we're all leaders at some point, all right? We're not going to spend our entire careers here in RTI. Hopefully some of us will go out to other units and be platoon sergeants, we're gonna be first sergeants, things like that. We have to have a good understanding of what the soldiers in our units are doing, all right? So that these numbers don't keep on going up, all right? And we've got to think about retention, right? What's gonna happen when our guys start getting DWIs? They gonna be staying in the guard now, at this day and age? No, these guys are gonna get kicked out, right? So what abusing alcohol can cost you in the state of Minnesota, the big number that you might not be able to see up at the top, is $9,069 to $11,469 for a DUI in Minnesota. Holy piss. Now, I'm not a wealthy man, okay, but I know that that's a lot of money, okay? If you've got that kind of extra pocket change around, and, well, I still wouldn't advise it. So your first offense, you can get up to 90 days in jail, $1,000 fine, license suspension. You guys can read the rest all the way up to your fourth offense, right? When I look at those numbers, to me, it just doesn't add up to get in a car and drive after I've had a couple of drinks, okay? Don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but you know what? Sometimes hard facts work pretty good. So, what does it do to your body? What is that? Okay. And it doesn't have to be over time. It can be that one single night of binge drinking, all right, can have some significant effects on your brain. It interferes with the brain's communication pathways and can affect the way the brain looks at the world, all right? These disruptions can change mood and behavior, make it hard to think clearly, move with coordination. All right, what does it do to your heart? Well, it doesn't do it any favors when you're talking about prolonged drinking. When you're drinking a lot over a long period of time, you're drinking constantly every single day, all right? Sorry, can you say that word for me?
Cardiomyopathy.
Yes, the stretching of and drooping of your heart muscles, irregular heartbeats, stroke, high blood pressure. I will give this out though. Moderate having a drink a couple times a week, having a glass of red wine for certain blood types like A positive, all right, red wine with a meal a couple times a week can actually be good for your heart. But let's not say that, okay, I'm going to save up all my moderate drinks through the week and I'm going to use them on the weekend because it's good for me. All right? That just ain't going to work. All right? Liver. All right? All that alcohol passes through your liver, so you're going to get a fatty liver, alcoholic hepatitis, fibrosis, psoriasis. These are not good things. Right? Pancreas, alcohol causes pancreas to produce toxic substances that can eventually lead to pancreatitis, dangerous inflammation and swelling of blood vessels in the pancreas. It can also cause cancer of the mouth, esophagus, throat, liver, and breast. So, everybody's going to have a great time watching the Vikings game later on. I think I'll have a milk today. All right, your immune system, okay? Drink a whole lot. It's going to affect your immune system, whether it's over time or that one night of binge drinking. That binge drinking, that night you just went out and you crushed it, right? You had a great time. 24 hours even after that, your immune system is so down that you can now start contracting other diseases a lot easier, okay? So, got another one here, so I apologize for that. One by one.
drug that is meant to treat ADHD, narcolepsy, and depression. It acts on...
Cancel in the center. Cancel in the center. Yeah. I have to that. I have no idea what just happened. Apparently we're gonna learn about Hitler.
The worst drugs to get addicted to. Amphetamines. Amphetamines are a class of drug that is meant to treat ADHD, narcolepsy, and depression. It acts on a reward circuit in the brain, causing rapid tolerance and desire for more if used frequently. The withdrawal can cause severe depression and lethargy. Benzodiazepines. This is a class of prescription psychoactive drug used to treat anxiety, insomnia, seizures, muscle spasms, and alcohol withdrawal. Long-term use creates dependence for the drug, although increasing the symptoms originally meant to treat. Withdrawal can be even worse as it can create new physical and mental problems. Methadone. A painkiller that causes a pleasant, dreamlike state of mind and is often used to help heroin users by reducing the effects of a heroin withdrawal. Nonetheless, methadone opens the doors to new addictions and can be even deadlier than heroin if used. By some accounts, methadone is said to be even more difficult to kick than heroin and remains controversial in the medical field. GHB. GHB is a naturally occurring substance in the central nervous system. As a drug, it causes feelings of peacefulness and euphoria. Excessive use disrupts the normal balance of brain circuits that control rewards, memory, and cognition. Mixed with alcohol, it is known as the day rape drug, with a withdrawal syndrome of insomnia, anxiety, and tremors. Nicotine. Much like many street drugs, nicotine mimics a common neurotransmitter for normal brain functions. Though it doesn't cause the rush of heroin or crack, it has the highest rate of addicts and is responsible for 1 in 5 deaths of smokers in the U.S. alone. Ironically, it is still one of the largest sources of government funding in many countries. Alcohol. Alcohol is legal and often socially acceptable as it relaxes, reduces anxiety, and uninhibits users. Drinking can be mentally healthy in moderation, but if abused, can easily become a problem. Excessive drinking causes loss of control over how much you consume while trying to get the same effect. Withdrawal can range from nausea, extreme agitation, tremors, and seizures. In severe cases, withdrawal can cause death. Cocaine. Also known as the street drug caviar, powder cocaine's high acts as an extreme stimulant for about 15 to 20 minutes. The short-lived high that makes a steady stream of dopamine in the brain causes the natural dopamine receptors to shut down. Cocaine becomes addictive as the brain craves the dopamine but can't produce enough without the drug. Withdrawal causes extreme mood swings, irregular heart rate, sexual dysfunctions, and even brain strokes. Crack cocaine. Crack is the freebase form of cocaine and has a faster and higher rush that lasts even less than powdered cocaine. As a result, crack can be far more addictive and causes symptoms to kick in much sooner. On top of that, crack smoke damages the lungs by constricting blood vessels and diverting oxygen in blood from circulating. The withdrawal is brutal and causes insomnia, panic attacks, dizziness, vomiting, cold sweats, and shivers. Crystal meth. Similar to cocaine, meth takes advantage of dopamine in the brain, but unlike cocaine, it actually mimics dopamine and norepinephrine. This causes the neurons to release more of both, all the while training your brain to need more in order to function. The meth hangover causes the body to crash and feel mentally and physically weak for days on end. Withdrawal symptoms range from psychosis, hallucinations, memory loss, and severe depression that can lead to suicide. Heroin. A heroin high causes a euphoric and numb state of mind and body. It also releases 100 times the dopamine than an orgasm. As a result, it is the most addictive drug known while it takes over much of the brain's natural chemical construct. This can cause the body to literally need the drug in order to survive. As a result, withdrawal can be deadly. If not deadly, still a brutal and long detox that is said to be the worst kind of sickness that can last for a straight week.
Alright, so let's talk about actual substance abuse a little bit. I have some information up here for the actual SAP program here in Minnesota, Substance Abuse Program. Right, actually some of these slides came from those guys. We do have 3 prevention coordinators, 2 drug counselors, 1 drug testing coordinator, and 1 program officer. Drug and alcohol assessments, referrals, and care coordination. So you have all that information. You guys would like that later on. So, substance abuse in the Minnesota Army National Guard, 2014 to 2015. All right, so you have your age group, and did they test positive on a DAP? Okay. 98% males, 2% females. So what were we getting caught using? Marijuana, cocaine, opiates, amphetamines. Okay? What we're going to go over for the substance abuse part of this is actually the marijuana, the opiates, and the amphetamines. So you can see Q3 of FY15, amphetamines became the highest thing that were getting hit with the DATs. Who thinks they have the answer to that question, why amphetamines now are is higher than marijuana?
Prescribed.
Prescribed? Why else?
More popular in society now than marijuana.
More popular in society?
They grow it right here in Minnesota.
What's that?
They make it right in Minnesota.
The amphetamines? Are you confusing amphetamines with methamphetamines?
That's what I'm confusing, yes.
Yep. There's a difference between amphetamines and methamphetamines. So amphetamines, if you remember from the video, we'll talk about this a little bit, but it's used for, what did it say? ADHD, all right? Things like that, helps you concentrate. We have a lot of kids in the Minnesota Army National Guard that are going to college, or a lot of college kids, one of the highest level users of amphetamines. Why? Keep you up, and study, stay awake, cram, right? I don't think weed is going to help you study for that test, right? Unless you have an art project, I guess, maybe. So, what can substance abuse in the Guard are failing that debt? No GI Bill, financial debt and bonuses that you're going to get taken away from you. You can get other than honorable discharge. You're not going to get your VA benefits. No veteran's preference in your employment, loss of monthly drill income, personal embarrassment, loss of self-respect potentially, right? So, I don't know, to me it's pretty easy to just stay away from drugs because I've made a commitment for 15 and a half years now. It's not that hard. It's one of the things that it's very simple to say that I want to be here, I want to be a soldier, to just not do this, okay? But that might just be me because I don't know everybody else's background, I don't know their family situations, I don't know their living situations. I don't know their mental health status either, So other than alcohol, like I said, these are the top 3 substances that are used in the Minnesota Army National Guard. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk a little bit about what they are, how they affect the body, so you can just be educated, okay? I'm not going to sit here and think that you don't know what all this stuff is, but just to have a little bit more education on what they are. So marijuana refers to a dried leaf, flower, stem, and seeds from the hemp plant Cannabis sativa. The plant contains the mind-altering chemical delta-9 THC and other related compounds. So as far as the legalization of marijuana happening within the United States, yes, states are legalizing it. It's not recognized by the federal government. However, I don't think that's going to be changing for us in the military anytime soon. That, yep, Minnesota legalized it. Go ahead and smoke it, boys. Just don't come to drill high, right? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's something that we're going to have to worry about here. So long-term effects. Marijuana also affects the brain development. When marijuana users begin using in teenage, the drug may reduce thinking, memory, and learning functions, and affect the brain, and affects how the brain builds connections between areas necessary for these functions. All right. Through a lot of the, just a little bit of research that I did for this, that age limit, that age 13, that's actually a pretty old age limit for kids to start trying to use marijuana.